home games, but went under-rewarded. Coventry perhaps one game too many. They need another lift here today. Well, having touched the heights of ecstasy and enjoyed for a time the trappings of elite status, there is a sense of pressure in the air. And Luton's unpleasant league position is coupled with the absence tonight of their chief creative, Alfie Doughty, thanks to a fifth and harsh yellow card at Coventry last week. And nothing short of an injury crisis in the back line, compounded by Tom Holmes' red card last week. Mark McGuinness, the only fully fit and eligible orthodox centre-back. The inclusions of Amari Bell and Ted Mengi carrying injuries are certainly rolls of the dice. Well, West Brom, winless in 6, have their own defensive issues with Kyle Bartley and Shemi Ajayi, who suffered a hamstring injury last week against Cardiff, requiring surgery. Paddy McNair also went off last Saturday with a similar complaint, but at least to a greater extent it's round pegs to the round holes. Torbjørn Hegem has featured at left-back this season, but is primarily a central defender. Mason Holgate starts alongside him. Callum Styles plays at left-back. Jed Wallace and Karlan Grant come into a department that needs to improve greatly. I mentioned that Alfie Doughty is their chief creative, so don't others have to step up and fill that void tonight?
Yeah, look at the importance of Alfie Doughty there in terms of shot creating actions, and then the next best is way down, but it's Jordan Clark, and you do expect with all his experience that he's going to take a little bit more responsibility tonight and try and be the man that makes things happen for Luton.
And it's all fallen flat for West Brom after early sparkle. There are players capable of providing it, they need to start doing it.
Do you know what, when I found out that none of the 5 players that play in the number 10 or the wide areas had created an assist or scored a goal, I was staggered actually. 12 games in, clearly that has to change, and tonight would be a very good starting point.
Well, they started so brightly, as I mentioned. Injury issues of a lesser but still serious scale affecting them. A season-defining period potentially on the horizon. So this a significant waypoint on the journey for Carlos Corberán and West Brom, and for Rob Edwards and Luton Town. We're casting an eye in a Luton back 5 somewhat different to what was advertised, with Hashioka at right wing back, Moses at left wing back, and Amari Bell in what has become a familiar position for him, the left of the back 3. So that's noteworthy immediately. We have a question over who'll play in behind Josh Matchett as well, and that will soon be resolved. And it looks from the outset as though it may be Diangana.
With all the injury problems that both are suffering, shuffling players around and rotating a little bit in terms of their positions was almost inevitable for Rob Edwards. It's a bit more straightforward for Carlos Corberán and West Bromwich Albion. Arrived here tonight and it's got the feel of a really important game. It's almost like a cup final for Luton. It's a big game for West Brom.
Callum Styles will certainly show a sense of adventure from that left-back position. And Karlan Grant, one of the few who has delivered in front of goal recently for West Bromwich Albion. So not textbook from Mengi. This is Diangana. Darnell Furlong. There's an offside flag up.
Going to be fascinating to see how this goes. And straight away, the thing that I'm noticing is it's the away supporters chanting and not the home supporters. And the last time I was here wasn't dissimilar when Queen's Park Rangers were in town.
Miloš Račić is in difficulty right at the start for West Bromwich Albion. And to add to the disappointment and the difficulties for West Bromwich Albion. A roll of the ankle, perhaps.
Yeah, I think he's made a bad landing when he comes down here. So he hobbles away. The landing there.
Jason Malumbi for heading off for an early trot. Be prepared, the motto. And well, plenty to contend with in the back line of late. He doesn't want to lose someone who provides a real sense of solidity in the middle of the field.
And it's the kind of injury that can almost get through, even if it means getting it strapped up a little bit. So I'd be very surprised if he doesn't continue here.
Shuffled the pieces around a little more, Rob Edwards, tonight, but everybody in positions where they're very happy to be.
First involvement for the crowd. If ever a team needed the home fans behind them, it's Luton Town right here, right now. If I'm a fan, I think they can't afford to wait for Luton to be the ones, the players to be the ones to pick them up. They have to get involved, the home crowd. That's what made it a difficult place to come season before last.
Turn up the fire under the Kenny cauldron tonight. This is Wallace, away by Mengi. Two very good performances here, Luton, in the last two home games. Very demanding games, intense occasions. The fierce rivals, Watford, and then another happy playoff memory stirred by the visit of Sunderland, a game that they were exceedingly unlucky to lose.
Yeah, I think there's the positive right there. The last two performances here have been really, really good. Another positive, they've got their two forwards scoring goals again. So it's not all doom and gloom, but the season needs to start soon for them. They're 6 points off where they were the last time they were in the Championship. It's not a massive amount.
7 defeats at the start of November. It took into January for that figure to be reached back then. Victor Moses. Switch of flanks for him, a player who's playing far more minutes and in probably a different role than Rob Edwards would have anticipated, but vast experience and tremendous quality.
Needs must, isn't it? Must be nerves about both camps. When you look at the run that they're both on, one win in 6 for Luton Town, no win in 6 for West Brom. You can flip that on its head if you want to say unbeaten in 4, but I'm sure they'd have rather lost 1 or 2 and won 1 or 2 to have more points.
Well, Krause, well, he's a bit of a wielder of the scalpel, Tom Krause, in that central midfield position. Really incisive passes he's capable of.
Yeah, gets his head up and looks forward frequently. Striker's dream, knowing that when you're going to make the runs, you're going to have a midfielder that's got his head up, he's going to look to find you.
Dealt with by the former Luton goalkeeper, Alex Palmer. Lone spell here. This is Mengi. Click towards Hashioka, who's in his preferred position tonight as the right wing back, although he has played quite a bit of football at centre back in his time. Clark, Adebayo. He's forced the corner. And who is going to take it? We're going to get our answer with Alfie Doughty absent.
Yeah, it was one of our questions, wasn't it? It's like Victor Moses to me.
Who's taken one attacking third set piece so far this season, while Alfie Doughty has taken 113 out of 160. I'm sorry, Victor Moses has taken 2. I retract that statement. And now he's going to make it 3. This is Bell. Chong. Clark. Comfortably dealt with by Ratchich. Doesn't seem to be feeling it particularly now. Ankle problem. Styles.
He won't want that, is what it's the words you're looking for. He won't want that, will he? That diagonal ball with Carlton Morris having the run on him. That is a position he wouldn't want to be in.
Well, they know each other very well, don't they? I mean, they were together, Morris and Styles, at Barnsley, so... it's nothing that's going to surprise Callum Styles, but he'll hopefully hope he leaves it to Hegham and Holgate.
Well, we're talking about the goals drying up from the first half a dozen games for West Bromwich Albion. I think one of the key things that's happened is teams have worked out how to play their wide players and stifle them a little bit, to the point where Tom Fellows is now, this is the 3rd game out of the last 6 that he hasn't started, and he was absolutely on fire at the start of the season.
Beautifully taken down by Chong. Amari Bell. Ratchich. Adjusted very well there. Hegham.
It's one of the things that you notice about West Bromwich Albion. Madger likes to drop short. Mostly the wide players want the ball to feet. Some balls in behind. It's usually a tool that West Bromwich Albion use a lot of. I think it's something they should add to their armoury.
Grant scampering back on the defensive. Wallace has taken up a central position now. This is Dean Garner out on the flank. Jed Wallace attempting to make a run in behind there. It's only his 2nd start of the season for a player who's been of such high importance for West Brom.
Of noise, noticeable, isn't it? Friday night under the lights at Kenilworth Road. This place is normally rocking.
Very welcome difference in the lighting since their promotion. This is Clark. Chong. Falls for Moses. Kraus. Out by Mowat, now his...
He's a little bit stuck under his feet to try and dig it out, but he's getting forward, isn't he, in this game? To those forward areas. Say the ball's just a little bit close to him. Quite wrap his foot around it. Certainly got the ability.
A player who might have come into the thoughts had Mengi and Bell not been able to demonstrate sufficient fitness to play. Has a little bit of experience of the centre-back position with a few clubs. Marvellous Nakamba, I suppose, would have been an option as well, but thankfully from Rob Edwards' point of view, he's not had to ask anybody to do what they're not used to. Here is Kraus. Hashioka. Hegham won the duel. Clark. there's an injury crisis when you're looking at 2-minute clips of someone playing centre-back in an under-21 game on the odd occasion in the build-up to a game. And looking for possibles and probables. And Hashioka in a good deal of pain after that.
Yeah, he's a little bit late, isn't he? Jed Wallace may be a little bit fortunate not to see a yellow card. Keen to take his opportunity, won't he? Jed Wallace hasn't started the amount of minutes that we would have hoped for.
Necessarily because, I mean, I obviously started the season with an injury concern, but he's certainly been one of the leading lights since his astute acquisition as a free agent was made. Callum Stiles feeling there was a nick that should have resulted in a corner. It. There's McGuinness. Harlan Grant, one for Wallace to chase, but it's a big ask. Kaminsky always heavily favoured. There's Mason Holgate appealing. He was half done to. Centre-backs will certainly feel it coming up against those two.
Exactly, they have to be expecting the big physical battle.
Outstanding contribution from Carlton Morris in their promotion campaign, and Adebayo's double figures in the Premier League. Incredibly noteworthy achievement. And they're starting to deliver again. It's a very vital time for Luton Town.
Yeah, really important. They had plenty of chances without finding the back of the net, but to get goals in back-to-back games, there's confidence that power are good.
There's Moses. Tussling here, Adebayo with Holgate. Furlong's father, a Watford favourite in the past, which may not escape the attention of some. They're more concerned about the amount of time it took for that ball to be put back in play.
Yeah, it hasn't really got started, has it? 15 minutes in. Only the goalkeeper had anything to do. I should have expected it. Nervy start to the game.
We talked about it at the very start. It's got the feel of a very significant night for different reasons for both. And the last week or so, observing Rob Edwards in action, it does beg the question, who lifts the lifter? Chong's delivery, Stiles to meet it, Kraus. Josh Madger does well. Harlan Grant with Kraus in hot pursuit and successful pursuit, but not ultimately.
Well, they're both done well there. Grant to keep hold of the ball, but Kraus in halting his progress a little bit.
Good competitive duel there. It's not necessarily going to be about winning a beauty contest tonight. It's going to be grit and fortitude that comes to the fore. This is Grant. The meaty forehead of Moses. Ratchich trying to get there, and that is painful for Victor Moses.
Still down. Bouncing ball, you clear it. It looks fairly innocuous. A glancing blow, maybe.
It's going to hurt, but all in a day's work. Play to be restarted with a drop ball. Mason Holgate starting West Bromwich Albion for the first time since the playoff semi-final against the Villa 5 years ago. He's obviously been away and come back in that period. Grant, will it break for him? The one from Mengi that got us slightly concerned for our welfare. A ball arriving on the gantry is not a rare thing at Kenilworth Road, such is the intimacy of this arena, whether it's on the old side or here. This is Wallace. Mowat. Darnell Furlong now for West Brom. Ratchich making an interesting run here, can't quite be found. But that was a good situation.
Yeah, right idea. Nice and positive.
Forceful run from Morris, but Hegem is there first. Adebayo likewise. Kraus to Clark. They lose a bit of flight in the air, and Furlong able to step in. Doesn't often happen that over Luton. Moses cross. No, it's adjusting well. That was Jordan Clark. This is Amari Bell. Then Garner for Wallace. Up against McGuinness here. Clark and Mengi have got back. See a welter of blue and white shirts arriving swiftly around him there. Mowat.
No, there wasn't a charge to get up there, really. Slowed down, allowed Luton to get everybody behind the ball. It's all very, very safe at the minute.
A telling statistic, West Brom not had a touch in the Luton penalty area yet, 20 minutes into the game. And it's difficult to shake off the sense of a lack of confidence in both teams. This is Moses. Headed out by Holgate with Adebayo lurking. This is Morris. And Ratchich away. Hashioka. On by Kraus. Hegem.
Well, even that, I mean, it's normally assured. Alex Palmer's got all the time in the world, panics, clears the ball. Unnecessary, and I think that epitomises the game. There's nothing really exuding calmness out there at the minute. It's all a bit nervy and a little bit frantic at times.
Born of stress, but Kraus looking for some composure and finding it. Morris.
It took too long. Took too long, and that meant the touch took the ball away from goal, which made the angle all the more difficult. Just delayed the strike, and that was enough to make it comfortable for Alex Palmer.
Well, window of opportunity, but if anyone is demonstrating a bit of calmness and composure out there, it's Tom Krause. A couple of very promising through balls.
Yeah, not to mention the work he's doing off the ball as well. It's been very impressive so far. It's a standout player.
Well, Julian Nagelsmann was sufficiently impressed to put faith in him at tender age at Leipzig. And there you go, that's the progress West Brom have made, with nigh on a quarter of the game gone.
You can see there, they've hardly been anywhere near the Luton Town box.
Preface that with lack of, but a source of frustration, but a source of hope for Luton in his performance so far. Glorious assist for Elijah Adebayo at Coventry last week. Hashioka, Morris, Hagen, Morris, Bell, Moses, Hashioka the target. Into Morris. Krause making a run, clearing a bit of space for him. Palmer having to beat that away, and Moses.
Yeah, slowly turning up the heat here, Luton. And West Bromwich Albion have to try and arrest the flow of the game going towards their goal. Good skill from Carlton Morris. Should be a comfortable save. Palms it away and it goes straight to Victor Moses, actually. He just can't sort his feet out quickly enough. Pressure mounting.
It's got a bit of a retro feel, this.
Well, it's purely accidental. Can't imagine it hurt too much, having been the recipient of many of them, and worse.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Hegam's still in the process of clearing his head a little. Wallace will hope to win this. Hashioka away. Krause. Adebayo may be able to make something of this. He's got support arriving in the shape of Morris and Chong. And he'll use Krause. Good bit of work. Hashioka. A little sense of lost momentum again. Seven points from the last 4 games here at home, and I said they'll feel exceedingly lucky to have lost against Sunderland here the other day. Adebayo, well, able to get the shot away when it seemed that avenue had closed off.
Yeah, look, if you're Carlos Corberan, alarm bells need to be ringing. That's 2 shots that Carlton Morris has had, and now Adebayo surrounded and yet still gets the strike away. Okay, it's tame.
Just beginning to get it together. As I say, at home of late, pretty good. 7 points from 4 games. That Sunderland game, as I was saying, they would have felt unlucky to have lost the game. They would have felt probably unlucky that they didn't get points out of it.
Yeah. Every thing that I've heard about that game suggested they played really, really well. In fact, they got a round of applause after the final whistle, when most teams that lose at home these days tend to get booed when they're in Luton's position.
Or even after goalless draws at home when you're up at the top of the table, like the other team on show tonight. And the more you boo, the less impact it has. Used to be headline-making stuff, that, didn't it? But there you go.
Yeah, look, it's one-way flow. West Bromwich Albion normally in games average way more possession than Luton Town, but it's the touches in the opposition box is the one that will really concern him a little bit.
2 years this week since his first game at the helm. Remarkable transformation they have undergone. There's certainly some real concern at the moment in the away end, and a scene of great activity, which is why we have come to a pause for the moment.
Was a West Bromwich Albion fan that lost his life at Hillsborough, and I think that's the big concern here. Hopefully it's not as serious as that. That's the reason the whole stadium, plus the Tom Lockyer scenario, has gone into a hushed silence. Let's hope everything's okay.
So the players doing all they can do to come to the touchline and receive some reassurance and some pointers, but proceedings at Kenilworth Road at a pause. And a round of applause spreading around at Oak Road end of the ground.
You'd like to assume that that is good news.
Referee Dean Whitestone just in communication with all parties. So the players moving back into a position where they may be poised to proceed very shortly. Also proceeding is work on Luton's new stadium, plans that have been upgraded. Gary Sweet on the left there, the club's chief executive, and the rest of the board getting together to head down to the site this week and see how developments are going. And Mick Harford there, Luton legend, doubtless delighted at that course of events. There's quite the trio there, isn't there? Delighted to see David Pleat here tonight as well.
Did you see David Pleat on Sky Sports News this morning? Fascinating man. Wonderful career, wonderful journey.
Enjoyed under his tutelage some of their greatest days, and the supporter who was in difficulty in the West Bromwich Albion end, I gather, is now standing, fully conscious, and thankfully they're a very, or reasonably happy outcome.
Absolutely, more important things than football.
Naturally, there'll be a period where rhythm will need to be restored. Might say such as it was, but Luton were certainly beginning to get a grip on things and beginning to create opportunities.
Yeah, they were certainly in the ascendancy. I would love to try and pick that baton Straight back up.
This is Grant. Forward by Styles. Wallace is after this. Aidan Mengi. He's in charge of the situation. QPR and Oxford on a longer streak without a victory than West Bromwich Albion at the moment. So for all the doom and gloom that that winless streak may have brought about, they are still paid-up members of the top six at present. They were the first to stop Blackburn winning at Ewood Park the other day.
Yeah, look, the brilliant start that they got off to, no doubt, really cut them some slack. So they can go level on points with second place this evening if they can win this game.
Furlong making a move. And away by Amari Bell. Chase for Grant, but he's prepared to do plenty of it.
That's what I was talking about, running in behind, being a common theme.
Garner just spinning, making an offer. Here's Mason Holgate. Here's Hegger. Kraus. Hegger trying to get to grips with Morris.
That's what he needs to do. He needs to stand strong.
Significant signing in the first of the Corbran era, for which West Bromwich Albion paid a fee. And it's easy for some perhaps to forget the straitened financial circumstances West Brom have operated under. Foul on Clark.
Well, 62 shots or attempts from set pieces. Only Millwall have had more. It has been a source for Luton Town. Of course, they don't have the wand of a left boot of Alfie Doughty. To try something different.
So Victor Moses second in the queue, but a long way down. And Palmer is able to deal with that. Chong. Away from Dean Garner. McGuinness in there, but there's Callum Styles. Moses. Mengi. Taiki Hashioka. Did himself very well at centre-back, but his senior debut was in that position. He's had a lot of games there down the years, but he'd very much prefer to be where he is. This is Victor Moses, who will prefer to come inside. I suppose that's what you do lose with this particular switch. Natural left foot. Mengi. Callum Styles. Holgate's under it. Diangana. Here's McGuinness for Luton. Mengi letting out an Chioka. Grant. Krause and Clark in pursuit. And on goes Grant.
Well, that's what we were saying. We were talking about how well Tom Krause has been doing with the ball, but there's another example without the ball. I think he's been the standout player on the pitch.
Did just avoid having a nibble that might have led to a free kick there as well. Underneath this is Hegem, Grant, Krause, Clark. One for Moses to chase. Victor Moses to take. Morris trying a little sharp right round the corner affair. Try and get Chong in. Chong no change out of Furlong, and indeed he fouls him.
Well, talk about low on chances. And West Bromwich Albion still haven't had a touch in the Luton Town penalty area. That sums up the first half, really. It's not been high quality. Lots of nerves, methinks.
Well, yeah, it's all very stressy, isn't it? And you can understand that. I mean, if you go 6 games without a win, then pressure builds. If you start a night, a weekend in the bottom 3, having lost a 2-goal lead in your previous match and been beaten, it all feeds into it. And it just shows how delicate the psychological balance can be.
Well, they're not happy, Luton. They felt that the referee should have played an advantage, that Elijah Adebayo was away.
Dean Whitestone goes to his pocket for the first time. Darnell Furlong, the recipient.
Yeah. Oh, this is not a clever challenge by Darnell Furlong.
So Moses over this, McGuinness poised, Mengi in there, Morris taking up a position nearest to this side, hoping to go unnoticed, and well, he did, but Palmer was there. Well, frustration for him. Plenty of viewing options for you over the course of this EFL weekend. And the A50 is going to be a busy place in the build-up to our main channel game tomorrow, Stoke and Derby. Plenty of games as usual at 12:30. An intriguing tussle at the Den. 3 o'clock kickoff for Millwall and Burnley.
That's the third kick from Alex Palmer. The previous two went out of play, and that one went straight to Luton. Has to be better.
Well, that took a bit of too much of a hop, skip and a jump for Dean Garner. Chong's under pressure. Now it's Wallace. Chong atoning to some extent, and Dean Garner at least with something for Kaminski to field.
You kind of get the feeling that if there is going to be a goal in this game, it's going to come from some kind of mistake rather than a piece of brilliance. That's the way it's gone in the first half.
Ashioka's free over here. He's calling for it. Bell. Ashioka. Chong. On now for Moses. Chong first time for Adebayo to tussle, and goal kick is the less than popular verdict.
Yeah, once again, it's not great quality delivery, and they've got themselves into areas and they're trying to put their usual plenty of crosses into the penalty area, but so far the quality of the delivery not where it needs to be.
Ball from Mengi for Moses. It's an eye-catcher, but then that is a source of deep frustration. You're a player who knows and has on so many occasions done better.
I think that pretty much sums up the first half, and probably the sooner the referee blows the whistle, the better for all of us, I think. The board's wrong.
A minimum of 5 added minutes. You're getting a few rogue zeros on the boards. A lot, actually, recently. Noticed it at a few games in the last month or so. Fascinating fact for you. Dean Garner now to Josh Madger. Palmer styles underneath this one, but Kraus gets there first, and that was a long way from pleasant. In fact, he moves away, but that would have been pretty painful, I would have thought.
Yeah, that's always the danger when the advertising hoardings are so close. It is a tight pitch, we know that. Tight ground.
Underneath it, Mengi, that's McGuinness. Foul on Chong, Ratchich protesting. Dean Whitestone very well placed. Come for Kraus.
I think that was an attempted pass. Not a lot's come off from most of the players out there.
Well, Holgate Suggesting another option, but it's going to go long. To a night that's got the first genuine hint of chill about it. 1st of November. So Furlong hoping that that weapon of his in these tight surroundings can be wielded. The long throw. Holgate's made the trip. Hegham's in there. Mowat making a little dart for a shorter one. It is going to go in there. And it's going to be met emphatically by Morris. But given how little progress they've made, get it in there's a very good idea. Grant. He's done really well there. Oh, and Madger! Well, a man who needed a shot of confidence has certainly got one there. And that's come pretty much out of nowhere.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the initial control by Madger from the diagonal ball here that comes back in from Holgate, I think is the first touch a West Bromwich Albion player has had in the penalty area, that one there. And then this is the second. And finally, the third one is all decisive. I mean, it's a brilliant finish, it's improvised, but doesn't that just sum up the way Luton Town's season has gone? I mean, West Bromwich Albion barely been in the final third, let alone the penalty area, and they've mustered a goal out of absolutely nowhere, and it's a smart finish from Madger.
Cheeky. And that's the Madger of the early weeks that Carlos Corberán so enjoyed. Goal number 8 of the season. And it's an unfortunately familiar tale for Rob Edwards.
Well, Carlos Corberán didn't celebrate, did he? I think he's still a bit exasperated with his team's performance.
Well, that's what he's going to major on, unquestionably. But the game has been embroidered. A moment of exasperation for Rob Edwards. What questions were being asked were certainly being asked by Luton. And then Darnell Furlong wielding that long throw, causing the initial incursion. Well, it's been, let's say, a rather undistinguished first 45, but embroidered by a magical moment from Josh Madger, who started the season in the hottest of form and has produced a special moment almost in isolation, total isolation from the rest of West Brom's performance. And Luton starting the night in the bottom 3 look as though, well, as it stands, they'll be penned in there, but they have shown the better moments in the first half by and large. Can they recover from that setback? Luton 0, West Brom 1 at the break. Yes, thank you, Emma. Shandon Baptiste is going to come on, hamstrung for the last 4 weeks, but he returns to action tonight. And he is going to replace Victor Moses. So a rejig of some description here. As Luton look to summon up the spirit of Sheffield Wednesday back in September when they came from behind here to record a victory. Josh Madger, the goal scorer, his 8th of the season, benefiting from Carlan Grant's first assist of the season, which is a noteworthy point. But Carlos Corberán's expression did not change at all when that goal went in. quite rightly, he will be focusing on the nature of that first half performance. West Brom clearly have to be better if they're going to see this through. And they seek to record successive league wins at Kenilworth Road for the first time in a long, long time. It might give you an idea of how long when I tell you that Bobby Robson and Don Howe are in the team, and the great powerhouse Derek Kevin, England international striker, scored the only goal under the leadership of the visionary Vic Buckingham, who took them perilously close to a double. Runners-up in the league, winners of the FA Cup in 1954, and agonisingly they finished second to Wolves in the league. Vic Buckingham went on to manage Ajax and Barcelona. He gave Johan Cruyff his league debut. He's credited with much of the philosophy that is synonymous with those two clubs. In 1956, that win. I don't think I mentioned that. Having won previous season. Amari Bell. It's Clark with room to deliver a cross for Morris when there certainly was a shooting opportunity on.
Yeah. Well, Morris made the offer by pulling away, but you've got to back yourself if you're Jordan Clark to have a strike. An attempt at goal, tries to disguise it. It's just a fraction overhit agonisingly for Carlton Morris.
Morris. And Chong operating from this left side now. He's perhaps more of a wing-back than we might have thought, given the change. But here's Hashioka. Stayed in play when there was a hint to the right-off about it, but then a foul by Chong on Furlong.
It's just so naive, isn't it? It's going absolutely nowhere. The only thing Darnell Furlong is going to do here is hook the ball if he gets there first, but just don't foul him. Push it right off.
Styles. The pops you may be hearing, the sound of the fireworks going off. Behind the goal to our left, this is Ratchich, Wallace. Dean Garner now.
Time, yeah.
A moment to ponder, possibly waiting for some advice in his earpiece.
Yeah, there's no doubt there was a communication between the assistant referee and Dean Whitestone, the referee. See if one to call.
Some promise for Albion in front of their supporters. Whitestone has spotted something that has incurred his displeasure. Can they break the duck as pantomime season has begun? It's certainly caused a bit of consternation. Grant caught that pretty well, breaks off Chong. This is Mowat. That could be interesting. Won by McGuinness and Chong. Well, credit Carlton Grant there for his magnificent defensive diligence there and energy to get back there. Hashioka.
Yeah, Carlton Grant, outstanding effort and commitment and desire. Appreciated much more this season by the West Bromwich Albion faithful.
He's certainly moving up the charts in terms of the players who've caught the eye tonight. McGuinness trying to make himself scarce in there, if such a thing is possible. Madger meets it. This is Kraus. It's useful. And hint of handball appeals in the air, but nothing approaching cast iron. Ashioka. Ratchich. Mowat. Madger. Wallace. In Ashioka's favour. Met by Mason Holgate. Side flag against Madger. Took a steep bounce. Forward there by Mengi. Morris hoping to cause some menace here, but Furlong's in charge.
Dealing with it reasonably comfortably, aren't they? West Bromwich Albion, lots of long balls, diagonal balls. West Bromwich Albion, it has been the strength, the consistent strength of the team.
Well, seeking to end this winless streak, heading to a period of distinct difficulty. The fixtures ahead. Burnley on Thursday night this week.
Yeah.
Norwich, Sunderland, Sheffield United also near on the horizon.
I think that's the reason Carlos Corberán was not happy despite being 1-0 up, because he knows to get through that run of fixtures with points, they're going to have to play an awful lot better than this. There's only one winner in that argument, surely, Alex Mowat, with that left foot.
Well, the theory's been tested, Don. Wallace has the ball at the moment. He moves away. Ratchich.
Looks like he's claimed it, doesn't he? Ratchich.
Maybe it's just subterfuge. Will be Ratchich and it will be Kaminski's.
Yep, catch in practice. No real venom in the strike. Certainly not enough to trouble the goalkeeper.
Styles, yellow carded for that. So it's a booking for each of West Brom's full-back pair. Ashioka up well, cannoned off Hegger. Kraus. Morris arriving on the edge was left a little frustrated. Mengi. Racic. Losing the ball in the glare of the floodlights. Kraus.
Certainly since the West Bromwich Albion goal, they've really struggled to create anything really meaningful, Luton. Hence the change coming up here.
Double change. Jacob Brown and Liam Walsh going to come on. It means that Elijah Adebayo's scoring streak is not going to continue tonight because he's going to be withdrawn. Not a popular change.
No.
Kraus coming off.
There'll be a reason for it. Not happy. You can see frustration all around the ground for those the Luton Town persuasion. I dare say Liam Walsh may be on there to take some set pieces. Good delivery. They haven't capitalised tonight.
Missing Alfie Doughty through suspension. Picked up a 5th yellow card at Coventry. It was a decision that provoked a bit of discussion, that one.
Look, I think the referee told him to wait for the whistle and he didn't. Technically it's a booking, but I'm led to believe that I don't think players are going to get booked for that anymore, really. It was a lesson learned.
Tom Holmes, we should remind you, who'd done really well in the games he'd started at centre-back. 2 yellow cards. Sent off in that second half where Coventry got the goals that their performance certainly had already merited. Could be interesting, fine margin there. Wallace chasing, Mengi. Furlong makes that his. And it's comfortable for Palmer, and it's not been uncomfortable at all in the first 12 minutes of this second half of West Brom.
No, Rob Edwards recognises that, and that's why he's made the changes. It's 3 now he's made. Possible other 2 up his sleeve. But the quality, all-round quality, needs to go up several notches for Luton Town.
Luton in a similar situation to that which their opponents endured in the first half, not able to get into the area to hurt West Bromwich Albion. Bell, Wallace, Madger, Mowat, Styles. Harlan Grant. Picked up here by Hegger. Mowat. Oh, and that's trouble because Chong has stolen in. And Chong scores! And the atmosphere changes at Kenilworth Road. Exactly what they needed. Danny Chong so alive to the situation and able to provide the finish as well. And it's 1-1.
Well, it's almost the same as West Brom scoring in the first half in terms of it's come out of absolutely nowhere. There's a little bit of a helping hand. Alex Mowatt gives the ball away. Look, he's got an awful lot to do from there, but that is a stunning strike, I have to say. It's really precise, it's hard, it's low, it's accurate. Tell you what, that is a super strike. Game on.
Well, it must be said, we've seen 2 goals shining like diamonds in
high quality.
Yes, I'm not quite sure where the diamonds are resting, but you can dwell on your own thoughts on that one.
Well, again, advertising hoardings that are very close. Darnell Furlong. Well, he doesn't reach the advertising hoardings. I think it's the training gear, isn't it, down there?
Well, they came back, as I mentioned, having conceded early in the second half against Sheffield Wednesday the other week.
That's 22 league games in a row at home they've scored, Luton Town. And there was always that hope for them based on that record. Both head coaches down below us, not happy, neither of them. You can understand why. It's been a really low quality game.
Luton will feel better about
Neither of them. You can understand why. It's been a really low quality game.
Luton will feel better about them. Well, in moments there's certainly been passion on show. So, a double change for West Bromwich Albion. It's the end of the night for Wallace and Diangana. Goodbye to them, and welcome to the game for Tom Fellows, a star that shone so brightly in the early weeks of the season. And Devontae Cole. Chasing, came off Styles, they're saying. He handled it. No, says the referee.
Well, he pushes him, and it does hit him on the arm, and it shouldn't be a penalty, because the only reason his arm is there is because of that push there. But it certainly gives the officials a decision to make. The assistant referee had a clear view of that.
Well, he's not seen it as a handball or a foul for the push. He's given the corner. That's kind of... Mengi.
You have to say, it's the kind of decision that referees have been really consistent with this season. Don't get penalties for that.
Here's Carlin Grant. Cole's waiting. Grant doing some really good work again, and some important work there for McGuinness.
Well, he's been the liveliest, hasn't he, for West Bromwich Albion? Has to be said, willing runner. Always looking to make something happen. Excellent work.
Well, doing all he can to convince the doubters. Incidentally, a yellow card shown to Paul Trollope, a member of Rob Edwards' coaching staff, and a distinguished one at that, for dissent. Styles. Furlong, up really well. Cole's in there. Fellows. Holgate driving it. Game of head tennis briefly. Baptiste.
Almost like being back in the school playground, wasn't it, that? Little melee.
It was never that good in my school play.
It may have been that frantic, though.
Oh, at least.
Pinball, isn't it? Furlong does well. So does Mengi to challenge Hegem there, and then anything can happen. They do well in keeping it alive, but body's in the way for Luton, and eventually they clear the danger.
Goes with Chong. Luton supporters who've not been as vocal of late here at Kenilworth Road as we've become used to. Certainly enjoying much more what they've seen from their team. Morris at the back. But, delivery not coming within the same postcode of him. It's Shandon Baptiste who is master of ceremonies.
He's working his way up that list, isn't he, of set-piece takers.
Whoa. Well, Palmer happy in the end that there was no harm in coming.
Well, they got an ooh from the crowd, but it's poor in reality, isn't it? You're not giving your teammates any opportunity.
Cole.
It's all come in the last probably 10 minutes or so, really, that Luton have changed this flow of this game on its head a little bit.
There'll be a fight to the finish in the final quarter.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how either coach would feel about a point here. For West Brom, it would mean 7 without a win. For Luton, it's another home game gone by that they haven't capitalised on.
It would temporarily at least lift them out of the bottom 3. West Brom, well, it would be a 5th successive draw in the league, which would be the first time this century that's happened. Well, some debate about the merits of the decision here. It allows West Brom to keep moving. Ratchich running short of space. Walsh. Brown. Baptiste. Ashioka. Morris can duel for it. Might drop kindly for Brown.
It's rash. It's rash, really, because I don't think with a bouncing ball like that, having to swivel 180 degrees, you're going to score on your weaker left foot. Get a hold of the ball, gather it, wait for a bit of support, but it's desperation, isn't it? Luton desperate for the 3 points here.
Walsh bounced up onto the arm potentially. Baptiste. Morris. Mowat trying to get hold of it. Morris. Hashioka. Baptiste! Peckham got it away. It's Mengi now for Luton to toss it in there. And a bit of thunder from the boot of Holgate.
It's awkward for Mengi, but he's done really well there. Really, really well.
Baptiste. Well, it's incredible. Speaking to Rob Edwards yesterday, he was trying to see if a couple of his injured centre-backs would be able to play a part, and he wasn't even prepared to say it was a 50-50 prospect yet. Getting through it with no great sign of difficulty from a physical point of view.
So far, so good. It's another one, isn't he, making his way back, Shandon Baptiste. All of a sudden, things may just be looking a bit more positive for Luton Town.
Slip there from Hashioka. Clark into Morris. At least a look from Carlton Morris, but Dean Whitestone's not buying that.
He got himself in a good position, aided by the assistant as well.
It's a ground where West Bromwich Albion have a very good record historically. Both have won 8 league matches here in the meetings between the two, which is very unusual, that kind of record. Given West Brom's status, despite their difficulties in winning matches of late, well, you know, from Luton's point of view, the draw will fall within the realms of the acceptable, but clearly they'll want more. And they're looking for more here. Hashioka. His reaction says it all.
Yeah, again, it's really excellent build-up play to get him in that position, and then quality has to be better.
So, Mikey Johnston and Jason Malumbi ready to come on. Uroš Racic and their goal scorer Josh Madger are the pair to be withdrawn.
Another little shuffling of the pack here.
Morris, Brown, Chong, Baptiste, touch from Johnston, has potentially put Albion in trouble. Clark has found Brown. Baptiste, Walsh, Chong. Chong. Oh, and it's squirmed through Darnell Furlong, and credit there to Alex Palmer for reacting to something he would only have seen very late.
Yeah, that's the save of the night, no doubt. Fantastic reflexes from Alex Palmer. Must have seen this late, came through so many bodies, maybe even took a little nick off one or two through Furlong's legs. I mean, that is outstanding. Gets a little bit of deserved look that it falls to a teammate.
He's a goalkeeper that's grown and grown in his time as West Bromwich Albion's #1, and certainly one of the most impressive at this level. That's beyond Morris. McGuinness, Johnston, Malumbi, Mowat, now Styles, Grant to Johnston. Strashioka, nick off Carlin Grant and a Luton throw.
A huge final 15 minutes plus added, whatever that may be for both of these teams here.
They've got some real challenges on the horizon with Middlesbrough and Leeds and Norwich amongst their forthcoming attractions. There's a game of some magnitude against Cardiff next as well, so we'll learn a lot during that period. Baptiste seizing upon it. There's a bit of a mess in front of him. Baptiste. Well, I think whoever wins this game is going to win it ugly, Don.
Oh, good grief, yeah. Absolutely. And look, in this position that they both find themselves in, it isn't about how well you play, it's just about getting the job done any which way. That was clear, really, wasn't it? After the first 15 minutes of this game, it was never going to be one for the purists.
To McGuinness's arm, it wasn't a moment where he exuded supreme assurance. This is Amari Bell. Calling for it was Clark, and he is found. And Styles a little uncertain.
Again, decision-making. Ashioka was outside. If he just left it, it goes all the way out to the wing-back, who's free cross.
And Furlong's clearance against Chong. Hegem stepped in. It's Malumbi who is fouled by Baptiste, and that's taken the pressure off from a West Brom point of view. Well, Benty Derby is our main featured match tomorrow lunchtime. Blackburn Sheffield United, certainly a worthy offering too behind the on Sky Sports Plus, along with Oxford Swansea. Millwall Burnley is our Sunday Championship feature, and that is followed too by live action from the WSL. Holgate seemed somewhat infuriated by that decision, but the foul on Carlton Morris. Here's McGuinness. That's threatened to be a little loose, but Bell has picked it up. Mengi. Ashioka. Chong the target here. Decisive first touch. Baptiste might break for Chong here. Bell. Walsh. Ashioka. Styles. Johnston riding that challenge. Advantage played here because he was fouled. Fellows. Mowat. Styles. Mikey Johnston. Grant. Johnston. He might have a crack here. I thought he was coming back from an offside position, as it is Luton have it anyway, so it's an irrelevance.
No, the flag went up, the referee played advantage.
Walsh.
He's looked good, hasn't he, since he's come on, Liam Walsh. Him and Baptiste, they've displayed an element of control that was probably missing prior to that. Quick to the loose ball. It's worth a go.
Well, someone might just score a goal that could turn one of these two clubs' season in the next 10 minutes or so. Chong to bring it down. Real battle between Morris and Haggett. This wouldn't fall kindly for Morris, but the outcome is positive for Luton. It's the kind of noise you expect to hear at Kenilworth Road on a night of this nature. Ashioka. A clang on the aluminium.
Oh, he just gets too much contact on it. Needs to be a finer glance. Having got up there, he's going to be slightly disappointed.
Well, it's John Swift coming on. They've refreshed that area of the field tonight. The end of the night for Carlin Grant, who has certainly made a very telling contribution to the game for West Brom. Not merely in what would generally be described as his line of work. He made the goal for Josh Madger, but also some impressive defensive contribution.
Yeah, absolutely.
Swift was showing for it. Cole gets a touch. Fellows is able to dig something out. Well, Ashioka straight to Malumbi. Well, Johnston was lurking in the penalty area, and Luton nerves were certainly jangling then. Johnston's cross deflected, corner to West Brom. Holgate went down there. Brown, who stooped to get it away. There was certainly a glance towards the referee from Mason Holgate.
Oh, didn't seem to be much in it.
Johnston. Some potential here for Swift. Ashioka. Great desire to defend it. Mowat, though, wins it back. It's Swift now for West Bromwich Albion. And suddenly they're perking up.
Yes, urgency.
Mowat. Sustained spell.
One of those games, truth be told, that neither really deserve to win, but it's not to say that one of them won't.
Scene of chaos again in that penalty area. It's just stayed, from Luton's perspective, the right side of the corner flag. It's a throw.
Again, fizzed into a dangerous area, not really dealt with very decisively.
Well, there's been a sense of uncertainty about the whole night, really, from virtually everybody on the pitch. Demonstrated that at times.
Literally been 2 moments of quality in the whole game.
Furlong to get those arms going again. It's allowed to bounce, and away by Jacob Brown. But the pressure has not really been relieved here, because Furlong's just going to make the long journey and try again, and sow further seeds of doubt.
It's been a real positive source of chaos for West Bromwich Albion, hasn't it? Darnell Furlong's long throw over the years.
Speedy, oh! And acrobatic from Cole. Well, we nearly had another diamond in the rough there.
Yeah. Make that 3 moments of quality in the game. The first 2 led in a goal. The third one, he's unlucky, isn't he? Does really, really well. Kaminski happy that it's straight at him.
Some neat work by Clark here. This is Chong. 4 in the area. Ashioka's made it 5. This is Walsh. 6 potential targets in there for Luton, but the head of Holgate is the one that meets it. Mengi now. Did really well there. Barty could yet be in trouble. Well, as soon as he looked like he was in it, he got out of it.
He lost his footing twice there.
It just emphasises the point, doesn't it? Things that players might normally do without even thinking have become big tasks to fulfil at times.
Yeah. Murray Bell. That is
for Bell.
Yeah, delaying the restart. Players know if you do that now, delay the restart, you are going to see a yellow card.
So he goes into the notebook, the first Luton player to do so. We're going to have at least another 4 minutes here. There's a real flashpoint at the end of Luton's last home game against Sunderland, in which the FA have had to get involved. There was a game between these two a good few years ago that ended in a 16-man brawl, in which Gary Strodder and Mitchell Thomas saw red.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, I wasn't there, was I?
You weren't, no, it was a bit after your time. Well, you were not too far from West Bromwich Albion, you were somewhere else at the time. It was a game that saw Luton preserve their status at this level under David Fleet. They won 3-2, John Hartson got the winner. And intriguingly, both goalkeepers were stretchered off that day, Stuart Naylor and Jurgen Sommer. Luton winning 3-2. This is Carlton Morris. Swift, Johnston. Put Furlong under a bit of pressure. It's got Luton where they want to be. The prospect of getting a ball into the box with a bit more quality, perhaps. Kindly for Morris. Jacob Brown certainly fell down. I don't know if anyone helped him on the way. This is Chong. Bell. Walsh to tease it in there. Hegem to meet it. Ashioka have a lot of room for manoeuvre. That's Hegem. Ashioka. Morris up in commanding fashion. Callum Styles to hook it away in no-nonsense fashion. Liam Walsh. Baptiste. Ashioka. Mengi's teasing ball. Clark hoping to latch onto it. It was beyond him. And it's looking increasingly likely that a winner will not be found.
Yeah, as I said, I think the point is probably about right. I don't think either of them have done enough to win this game. And when you look at the impending fixtures they've got on the horizon, they're both going to have to play a whole lot better than this.
Morris chasing, Hegem deals with it initially, but here's Brown. Chong is in attendance. One more heave for Luton. Carried it out of play.
Yeah, I think that will be that. Runs out of real estate, doesn't he? But he's had a strong night. More frustration for Rob Edwards.
The character to come from behind and get something.
Yeah, you've got to take every positive that you can, and you look at the next 5 home fixtures here: Cardiff, Hull, Swansea, Stoke and Derby, and you would expect Luton Town to take a decent amount of points.
A point apiece. Both teams will play considerably better than they did tonight and get nothing in other games. The fireworks were firmly consigned to outside the ground for the most part, but 2 flashes of inspiration. Tahith Chong with a superb equaliser, stealing in on a marginally loose pass in midfield. and finished magnificently, as did Josh Madger in the first half from a Carlin Grant cross. Back on the roll and looking to provide the sparkle that he did in the early weeks of the season. Largely undistinguished stuff for the most part. West Brom's winless run continues. For Luton, it's a point, and it's a point that propels them for now out of the relegation zone, and that has to be a significant positive. The final score here, Luton Town 1, West Bromwich Albion 1.